Okay, so let's just do usual little setup. Feet hip distance, shoulders nice and relaxed. Just give your arms a little shake out. Let's just stand up nice and tall. Think of that positioning of the pelvis. Think about that positioning of the head. We're not bringing the head too far forward. We've got that little chin tuck. Relaxing the shoulders, and then from there just focusing on that breath, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth as you're breathing out, engaging that pelvic floor, pulling in the abdomen. We just close the eyes to begin with, and just focus on that breath, that lateral breathing. So when you're breathing in, the ribs expand out to the sides. Inhale, bring your shoulders up, exhale, knees down. Last one, just relax it down. Let's just look over the shoulder, got that chin towards the shoulder, chest, shoulder, and the side. And then just bring it back to the center, and then let's just take it into that little shoulder roll. Slowly start to increase that circle. My blood pressure to stay with that, otherwise let's take it into those arm circles, taking them up and out. Good, and then last one, just relax down, just give those arms a little shake out. So let's just take it straight into a squat. So let's take the feet a little bit wider than your hip. So we're going to take ourselves into our regular little hip hinge, sitting into that squat, pushing through the heels. As you come up, we're just going to push the arms back. So sitting into that squat as you're coming up, pushing the arms back. And always when you come up from a squat, try to think about pushing the heels through the mat so it works your glutes a lot more. Good, if you feel okay with that, next time we push the arms back, we could take that one foot into a little either pinpoint or a little lift, and then we bring it back down. So taking ourselves into that squat as we're coming up. Pushing the arms back, taking that leg. So it's only very slightly back, so you're not actually leaning forward or anything. We're just pushing the arms back. Legs going a little back as well. Make sure you use your glutes. Yeah. Yeah. Good. The next time we take it into that little push behind, that little leg lift, we could stay with that, or if you feel okay from there, we're going to start to lean it forward and then back into a little pinpoint. We're just taking it forward, hinging, forward and back. Or if you just want to keep it very small, that's fine. And the same leg. Remember the standing knee, always keep it soft. You don't want to sort of lock it out. Good. Maybe one last one. Maybe we can just hold the last one. Yeah. And then bring it back down. Let's take it back into that squat. Let's push the other leg behind it. Again, you might want to hold it there. You might feel okay with that. You might want to start to lean it forward and back into that little pinpoint. Yeah, maybe holding that last one. Good. And then just bring it back down. Well done. Just give the legs a little shake out. Remember, I know we're doing Pilates, but still stay hydrated. So if you want to stop and have a drink at any point, please do, because it is warm. Abnormally warm for March, but lovely. So let's have the feet together. We're just going to take ourselves into a little ski. Make sure you've got room either side of you if you can. We're going to be stepping it out. So from there, we're just going to take ourselves into a little, taking the arms up. Let's just take ourselves, it's like in a squat, but we're just taking the arms behind us. It's a little ski. As you are coming up, let me just let someone in, sorry. As you are coming up, I forgot what we're doing now. I know we're going to step the foot out and just go into a squat. I'll do it right this time. So let's take ourselves into that little squat. As you are coming up, you're going to step it out, and then we're going to do a big circle with the arm as we take it back into that squat, and then we bring it back in. So we take ourselves into that squat, pushing the arms behind, stepping it out, and then doing a big wide circle back into that squat, and then we bring it back in. Into that squat, pushing the arms back into that ski as we step it out, big wide circle, back into a big wide squat, and then we can just step it back in between. Good. I keep doing this different each time because I keep doing a different exercise each time. Just do your own variation, I am. Good. 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 Let's just try and finish it on the opposite side from where we started, if we can remember which side we started on. Good. And then just bringing it up once you're finished. Well done. Just give those legs a good little shake out. So we're just going to take ourselves into a little balance, and then we'll be going straight onto the mat. So toes out in front, standing knee soft. Use the abs, use the glutes as well. So you could stay pinpoint, you could lift it slightly off the mat, or you could take it to tabletop. Use the arms if you want to use those arms. Good. Good, let's just relax that foot down. Let's just swap to the opposite side. So again, standing knee soft, lifting that leg slightly, or you can take it to tabletop again. Of course, you can use those arms. Good. Okay, let's just challenge that balance a little bit more. So give the legs a little shake out. So let's think now, let's lift the right leg. So again, set yourself up, that standing knee soft, toes out in front. Let's lift that right leg. Arms are out in front. So tabletop if you can, if you need it a little bit lower or toes just lightly touching, that's fine. So from there, we're going to take the left arm out to the side. If you can, you're going to turn the gaze towards that left hand. Hold in that position. Good, and then bring those arms in, just relax the legs down, just give the legs a little shake out. Let's just repeat the same thing on the opposite side. So again, standing knee soft. Let's lift that leg to tabletop if you can. So again, you might want to stay with that, or we can take the right arm out to the side, look towards that right hand. Good. And then just bring it back. Just give the arms and legs a little shake out. Let's take ourselves straight down onto the mat. So bend one knee onto the other knee. Let's just start working in spine. So let's just go into our cat. So as always, when we do the cat, we can do it on the hands, or we might want to lower it down onto your forearms. You might want to do your cat from there. Entirely up to you. You're thinking about tucking that tail between the legs, bringing it back to the center, taking it the opposite way. Yeah, so really feeling that little tilt. So concentrating on the lower back rather than the shoulders. Good, one last one, up and down. And bringing it back to the center, toes together, knees wide, sit back onto the heels, just walking the fingers forward. And then let's bring ourselves back onto all fours. So regular all fours positions, wrist, elbows, knees, abs are engaged, back's nice and straight, and neck's always in line with the spine. So we're just going to start to take it into a little pinpoint to begin with. So right hand forward, left foot into that pinpoint. So make sure when we're taking the hand forward, try not to sort of reach too far forward that the shoulder drops down. We're literally just extending the arm. Slide it back in, swap to the opposite side. So always start with pinpoint so that we know we've got that weight completely central. If we haven't got it central, when we go into that lift, we'll go a little bit wobbly. So you could stay with your little pinpoint, or if you feel body weight's completely central, next time you take yourself into that little pinpoint, we can take it into that lift, a little Superman as it's called. Opposite arm, opposite leg, slide it back in. So keep it quite slow so you can think about using the abs and controlling that position. I'm just going to move a little bit further forward. Yeah. Make sure when you're lifting the leg, make sure you're using the glutes. So the next time we take it into that lift, we're going to try and hold it there. So keep the abs pulled in. You might want to stay with that, or you might want to bend the leg, and then you could take the hands round. You might be able to tap the foot and then take it back into that lift. So we stay on the same leg. We're going to try and do 5 on this side, and then we swap it over. Try to make sure that when you're doing it, the body doesn't sort of wobble. Yeah. And once you've finished on that side, and knee down, let's swap to the opposite side, make sure the abs stay pulled in, taking it into that lift. Again, we're just holding it there if you like, or starting to bend the leg, taking the hand to find that foot. Sometimes it disappears a little. Try to keep the body nice and still when you're doing it. Good. Last one. Good. And then just bring it down, toes together, knees wide. Let's just take ourselves into a nice shell stretch. Taking the hands forward, hands as wide as the mat. Good, and then let's lower ourselves down onto our forearms. So we're just going to do a little build up towards a plank in 3 stages. Always good to do this, I think. So relax the shoulders when you're in that position. If it's really uncomfortable, so if you've got any issues with the shoulder and that is an uncomfortable position, just lie down with your forehead onto your hands and you can do the first 2 parts. So from there, let's just think about the belly. Take a breath in as you are breathing out. Just think about taking that belly button back towards the spine. That's all we're doing to begin with. And then relaxing. The belly button back towards the spine. So it's a good position to sort of just really focus on taking that belly button back. Moving that belly button back towards the spine. The next time you do it, take the belly button back towards the spine. Maybe just lift the belly slightly and then relax it down. And try and tie it in with that breathing. Good, so that is one level. You could stay with that. You can still really work internally those abs, doing it that way. Or next little level, take the belly button back towards the spine, lift the belly slightly, and then you start to lift the hips. Obviously, if you're lying down, you're not going to do that. You stay with that first part, and then you relax it down. Again, taking the belly button back towards the spine, lifting the belly, lifting the hips. If that feels really uncomfortable on your knees, maybe just try tucking the toes under when you do it, and it takes the pressure off the knees. So you've just got to make sure that you're taking the belly button back towards the spine before you take it into that lift. So we're not just sticking the bottom up when we're doing it. We're just lifting the hips, maybe just tucking that tailbone under slightly. Good, maybe holding that last one. Good, and then just relaxing it down. Have a little rest, and then we can stay with either one of those levels, or this time we lift the knees as well. So have the toes tucked under if you're doing this one. Take the belly button back towards the spine first. Lift the belly a little, lift the hips a little, and then you can lift your knees, and then you can take yourself into that plank position. We're not holding it for long, so don't worry. So abs, glutes are engaged, necks in line with the spine. Keep breathing. Good, and then just relax it down onto your front forehead, onto your hands, just bend the legs, have a little rock from side to side. Yeah, and then let's just take ourselves into our little diamond press. So your hands are in your little diamond shape. So forehead rests into that diamond. Again, try to make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Taking a breath in, if you breathe out, we just start to press lightly into the forearms, head, breastbone slightly lifts off the mat. So we're just pressing lightly into the forearms because we're trying to get the muscles in the back to start to do some work. Make sure your neck stays in line with the spine. So we don't, the head lifts slightly, but we're not sort of moving the head, we're not looking up. Just keep the neck, think of the back of the head lifting. You maybe try it, tie it in with your breathing pattern, so you're always doing this on the exhale. Start to bring it up a little bit higher. Again, it's not about how high up you come, it's about peeling away from the mat, trying to get as much movement as you can in your back. You might want to stay with the forearms down, or you might want to start to press it up into the hands. But again, it's not about coming up high, it's about peeling away from that mat. So sort of lifting the breastbone and then taking it bit by bit towards the belly button. And releasing it back down. Good, and maybe holding that last one. And just relaxing it down, forehead onto the hands, just have a little bit of a rock from side to side. And then just relaxing the legs down, hands next to the shoulders. Toes tucked under, push yourself up. Always when we do any kind of back extension, we need to stretch the back out. Shoulder stretch is always a good way of doing it. Again, maybe taking those hands as wide as the mat. And then just bring yourself up to seated. Bring yourself up, bringing ourselves into our seated position. Just sitting up nice and tall to begin with. So again, you can have the legs bent, you can have the soles of the feet together, you can have the legs straight. Just relax the shoulders. Think about little pelvic tilt, tucking that tailbone under a little. And then if you want to take it more into a little bit of a C curve, open that chin slightly towards the chest, put yourself into that little C curve, and using the arms to bring yourself back. Yeah, maybe just taking the arms away, taking yourself again into that little C curve. Yeah. Yeah, just start to work into the waist, so just stretch the back out a little. Next time we take ourselves into a little C curve, we're just going to work into the waist. So let's take our arms into our little Cossack position. So shoulders nice and relaxed. We take ourselves back into that little C curve. Hold that C curve for a moment, and then we're just letting the arms, head just naturally follows, and then bring it back up. And hold in. And just finish on the opposite side from where you started. And then just take those hands towards your feet, just stretch the back out. And then let's just lower ourselves down onto our back. So as always, we can do it with control. We can take it into that full roll down, or you can take it into that partial and then lower yourself down onto your elbows. Keep the abs pulled in as you are coming up. And then once down, maybe that full body stretch. And just releasing those arms, bending one leg, bending the other, bringing the knees in, little rock on the spine. Just lifting the knees round a little. And then just place the feet down. So have the legs together, arms are going to go out to the side. So we're just going to start with a little hip roll, and then we're going to be taking it into our little chalk circles, which you have done with me before. So just letting the knees go very gently from side to side, using the abs to bring them back to the center. Maybe increasing it a little, maybe just taking the knees a little bit lower. So remember, when we do this, it's a roll, not a rock. We're not just rocking from side to side. It's a nice controlled roll because we're using the abs, we're using the obliques, the waist to control the movement. Yeah. Okay, the next time the knees go to the right hand side, you're going to let them go the whole way down to the right hand side, and then you're going to bring that left arm over to meet the right. And then from there we do a big wide chalk circle, so we're taking that left arm, big wide circle. Take it back to the original position, make sure you engage the abs, you bring the knees back to the center, and then we repeat on the opposite side. So we're taking the knees to the left, you bring that right arm over to meet the left, and then we take that right arm into that big wide circle, so it's really opening out around the chest, around the shoulder. Make sure you're using the abs to bring the knees to the center. Again, this is a nice exercise for the back, shoulders, with the chest, but it's also really working your core muscles. And use those abs to bring the knees back to the center. Yeah, the next time we take it to the right hand side, we're going to stay in that position. So we're in that position of that sideline open door, as it's called. If you do want to pop anything under your head, please do. It makes it a lot more comfortable when you're doing that. So from there, let's think about that left arm. We're just going to lengthen the fingertips forward a little and then bring that arm up towards the ceiling. So you might want to stay there. Again, if you've got osteoporosis, osteopenia, I would stay there and then bring it back down. Otherwise, you can start to take it behind you a little. The other thing you can do is when you take those fingertips up towards the ceiling, is you're dropping that shoulder down into its socket a little. And then you can take that gaze towards your hands. But we want to make sure that as we're doing it, we're not just letting the hips roll. We're getting that real opening out into the chest, into the shoulder. Let the hips stay nice and steady. Again, it's good for the waist as well as the spine, this. Those knees are not lifting off the mat. Maybe this next one, maybe we just hold that position. Yeah, and then just releasing. Taking it back into that position of that sideline open door, and then we take that left arm into that big wide chalk circle, engage the abs, bring the knees to the center, and then we roll to that left hand side to repeat that sideline open door from there. So from that left hand side, lengthening that top arm, bringing the arm up. I just have to swap positions there. So again, osteoporosis, osteopenia, I would only take it as far as the ceiling. Otherwise, you can start to take that arm behind. Again, try and keep the hips steady. Try to keep the knees down. Yeah, maybe this last one, maybe just holding it there. And then just bringing it back, and then just do our one last little chalk circle, bringing that top arm up. Bring the knees back to the center, but then we just stay there, and then we take the knees in, and we just have a nice rock on the spine. Just think about our hip flexors from this. So let's just place that left foot down. Let's just bring that right knee in towards your chest. So you're really hugging the right knee in. So again, that might be it. where you want to stay. You might want to stay with that. You might get a lot of benefit from that there. Again, it's quite nice on the back. Some hip flexors. Or we can straighten the opposite leg. So we're straightening the opposite leg. Have that foot flexed and try and get as much of the leg actually on the mat as you can. So again, good for the hip flexors, good for the leg. Yeah, and then just sliding that leg back in. Let's just swap to the opposite side. So again, just hugging that knee in as tight as you can towards the chest. You might want to stay with that, or we can straighten the opposite leg. And flex that foot, try and get as much of that leg on the mat as you can. Yeah, and then just release, and then just bring those knees in, just have a little rock from side to side. Yeah, and then let's just place the feet down. So feet hip distance, shoulders nice and relaxed, pop something under our head if it makes it more comfortable for you. Let's just go into our pelvic tilt. So just rolling that marble forward and back, and then that lower back imprint, and then just go into a very tiny little arch. Tiny little movement, pelvic tilt. Great exercise to find your neutral position, but it's also a great exercise just purely on its own if you get a lot of tension in your back. Good, and then just find that position in between the two, so you are in that neutral position. Let's just stay in that neutral position. Let's just go heel slide to begin with. So sliding the right heel towards the front of the mat. Staying in that neutral position. So it's not a quick slide and then bring it back in. Slowly and controlled. Using the abs, making sure that back's not arching. It's a controlled movement. Yeah, maybe starting to use the arms as well. So taking those arms up towards the ceiling as you slide in one heel, the opposite arm goes behind. Make sure you can stay in neutral. All these exercises look very simple, but actually to do them right, you really do have to use the abs, you have to use that control. So if you've got any back problems, or if you prefer, stay with that today. Otherwise, you might want to take yourself into your dead bug position. So legs to tabletop, arms go up towards the ceiling, lower back stays in imprint, and then we start to take the right leg, lowering it a little, left arm goes behind, and then slowly bring it back up. It's not a sort of a quick tap, bring it back up. It's slow, it's controlled. This is what makes the muscles work so much. Keep that back in that imprinted position. Remember, if you prefer to do your heel slide instead, you do that. Again, don't worry about the foot actually touching the mat. You just take it as low as you can control it. Remember, if you've got your legs tabletop, your back's in the imprint. If you've got you do the heel slide, your back's in neutral. Good. One last one each side. And then just bring those knees in towards the chest. Just have a little rock. From side to side. Good. So let's just bring those legs back to the center. So again, feet hip distance, neutral position. Let's lift the arms. Let's go into our little lengthening. So taking a breath in as we are breathing out, just lengthening those fingertips forward a little as we engage the abs, and then relax it back down. So we want to make sure that when we lengthen, we can feel those abs work. So again, If you've got osteoporosis, osteopenia, any problems with your neck, I would always stay with your head down. You can pop something under the head and stay with the head down. Or we can start to take ourselves into that little curl. So dropping the chin slightly towards the chest. As we are coming up, the gaze is towards the knees. And make sure as you're coming up, make sure you're not doing it into that habit of pushing the abs out. Make sure the abs are staying flat. Try and control it on the way back down as well. Yeah, 2 more. Good, and then just relax the arms down, relax your head down, just let that head roll from side to side. Good, so we're going to go back into that, but this time we're sort of going to do it in 2 parts. So if you're staying with your head down, you're lifting the arms up, you're lengthening 1, 2, and then you're holding, and then you release 1, 2. If you want to do your curl, maybe take those hands to the side of the head now, so you've got a bit of support for the head, but keep the elbows wide. So again, chin nod, coming up, 1, 2, hold for a moment, and then we take it down, 1, 2. So do that in your own time. 1, 2, hold and down. Make sure when you're doing it, you're not just pulling onto the neck. The head just wants to like rest into the hands, rather than the hands sort of pulling the chin towards the chest. Do it in those parts. Keep going up, up, hold, and then down, down. Okay, make sure that abs are not doming. Good, one last one. Well done, nice. And just relax it down. Let's just let that head roll from side to side, just to let go of any tension. You bring those knees in towards the chest if you wish. Good, let's just do a bit of a glute stretch, but then we can add on to it. So let's take the right ankle just above that left knee. So you might already get a good stretch in the glutes on the right hand side, or you might want to lift that left leg. So as you lift that leg and you bring it in a little closer, you'll feel like increasing that stretch. So either one, either the foot down or the leg lifted. From there, we can go back into that lengthening. So either with the head down, doing that lengthening. As you are lengthening, think about bringing the leg in a little bit closer. For those of you that are okay with your head lifted, maybe take those hands to the side of the head. Drop your chin towards your chest a little as you come up into that curl, bringing the legs in a little and then bringing it back down. If you are okay with your head lifted, maybe next time you take it into that little curl, then take it into a little crisscross. So you're sort of taking it towards that leg that's crossed over, back to the center, and then you release it down. So we stay on the same leg. So we take ourselves into a curl, a little crisscross, back to the center, release it down. One last one on this side. Good, and then just release it down. Let's swap legs. So again, you might want to stay with that right foot down. You might get a really good stretch in the glutes already, and then in which case you can do it from there, or you can have that leg tabletop. So again, you can stay with the head down, you can do that lengthening, or if you're okay with the head lifted, hands supporting the head, taking yourself into that little curl to begin with, making sure that as you're coming up, make sure the abs are staying flat. And then if you do want to add on your little crisscross as you're coming up, take that twist in the direction of that leg. So remember, it's not about the elbow going towards the knee. The elbows always stay wide. Think about the shoulder rather than the elbow. Good, and one last one. Good, and then just bring it back in. Well done. Just bring those knees in. Just let that head roll from side to side. Lost the music. Good, and then you're going to take hold of your belt. Taking it into a hamstring stretch. You could take it into a single or a double. So tight hamstrings, I would always do single. If you're okay with your hamstrings, I would go into that double. Good. Flexing the feet if you can, just to feel that increase. Good. Swap legs if you're doing single. It's so important to keep those hamstrings nice and flexible. You don't want tight hamstrings, easier to damage. Good for the back. So you really want to keep them lengthened out. Do a lot of running or cycling or heavy walking. You do need to stretch afterwards. You soon tighten up. Yep, and then just release, just bring the knees in, just have a little rock, and then let's just finish up with some lovely shoulder bridges. Everybody likes shoulder bridges as well, like saving it till last. It's a nice way to finish off the class. So bringing those heels quite close towards the bum, shoulders nice and relaxed. If you've got a little Pilates ball, you can pop between the knee if you wish. Again, we always start from neutral, we tilt the pelvis, we go into imprint, we engage the muscles of the bum, we start to lift the bum. As we're doing it, the knees go forward. Always remember osteoporosis, osteopenia, that small little movement, lifting towards the bottom rib and then straight back down. Otherwise, that's something very important for you. Make sure the knees are going forward. So if you find your knees sort of want to kind of go out to the side or they want to come together, that's where it's good to use something between the knees. It doesn't have to be a Pilates ball. You could use a little cushion or a little block. Yeah. Your next bridge, maybe just hold that bridge there. And just bring it back down. And just bring those knees in towards the chest. A little rock. And from there, we'll just bring it up into seated, so you can either roll or you can rock yourself into your seated position, or standing, of course. Just finding that comfortable position, relaxing the shoulders. Just let the head just drop to one side a little. Bring it right to the center, look at the opposite way. Good, just take the arms out to the side, inhale and exhale. Good. Last one, just bring those palms together. Let's just bring those hands down towards your heart. Thank you very much. Well done, everybody. Belated happy birthday for Christine for yesterday. I would have sung to you if you'd have come on yesterday, so it's probably for the best you didn't, because I can't sing.